Is Fianna Fáil a dying party? For those that don't know, Fianna Fáil is Ireland's largest political party. Our current Taoiseach is the leader, Micheál Martin, and Fianna Fáil is probably the most successful political party in Europe, in that out of the last 100 years, they've served something like 50 years in Irish government. I mean, it's pretty mental. But in recent months, or maybe about past year or two, they've been really struggling. And there's been two big moments. One was the presidential campaign, which saw them field a candidate that didn't even make it to race day. He was taken out of the race by a controversy involving him owing a tenant several thousand euro. And if you don't know, Ireland has a housing crisis right now. So the fact that their candidate was a stingy landlord didn't help anyone. Then, about a week or two ago, Ireland had a by election. They had two actually, one in Galway and one in Dublin. And in both, Fianna Fáil did terrible. I have an article here from the Irish Times by a man called Fintan O'Toole. So I'm just going to read out the beginning here so you guys can get a feel of how badly they're struggling. Less than 20 years ago, in the general election of 2007, Fianna Fáil got 15,000 preferences in Dublin Central, 44% of the vote. On Friday, in the same constituency, Fianna Fáil got 1,000 first preferences, 4% of the vote. This is a decline of 93%. In Galway West, Fianna Fáil got nearly 9% of the vote, much better than Dublin Central, but not out of line with the larger trend. In 2007, Fianna Fáil got 37% in Galway West. The decline is 80%. Good luck with claiming that as good news because it's not 93%. Yeah, he has a point there. But this does raise the question, what's Fianna Fáil? Why are they struggling and where are they going next? So, as to why they're struggling, well, according to Fintan O'Toole, I'll read out what he has to say. Fianna Fáil's hegemony was founded on its determination to stick to the Catholic hierarchy. Once it came in from the post Civil War cold, it learned very quickly that the route to power lay through episcopal palaces. Whatever the bishops wanted, no divorce, no contraception, no abortion, full control of health and education, a blind eye to systemic institutional abuse, the bishops got. This alliance lasted right up until the heyday of Ahern as Taoiseach, so that's around 2008. The tacit deal gave the party, in return, a rock solid social and ideological base. The church had immense prestige and overwhelming authority, and it lent the Fianna Fáil as its representatives on earth. All of that's gone. The hierarchy has no spare authority to lend to anyone. What's left is the ghost of a machine. I think there's a lot of truth to what Fintan O'Toole is saying. The Catholic Church has lost their authority. That's damaged Fianna Fáil in return. Definitely true. But I also think Irish politics is just a lot more crowded now. I mean, I saw a recent poll. Fianna Fáil's on 15%, Sinn Féin's on 20, and I think was Fine Gael on 19 or 20, something like that. It's just it used to be a two-party system. It's changing now, and sure, part of that reason is probably the decline of the church and the changes in the last 20 years in Ireland and socially as well. I also think it's because they have no coherent vision for Ireland. They're very inert. They're not really putting out a vision for where we should go as a country. Basically, they're kind of dead. It's almost like they can't even think big or think about the future. It's just kind of tweaks around the edges and trying to maintain what they can. I don't think it's enough. I mean, Irish society is changing so much. There's so many different crises, and also internationally as well. You kind of need to be thinking a little bit more radically. No, I mean, like Fintan O'Toole also says a good point here. Ireland's systems of authority and social control are not just gone, but bitterly discredited. Its self image as a nation of emigrants has been turned upside down by large scale immigration. Its system for reproducing the middle class through home ownership has fallen apart. And it's like, yeah, what is Fianna Fáil offering to anybody anymore? Nothing new, no changes, and it's kind of just like their old vote, like the middle aged and the elderly who are just in the habit of voting for them. That's honestly how it feels like. So, what's there to be done? Well, not that much. The leader, Micheál Martin, has no interest in standing aside and letting someone else rule. He's been head of the party for 15 years. And while there is a section of their party membership that would love for him to go, it's still only like a third or less of the party. So the chances of them getting in fresh blood anytime soon seems pretty limited. Although I do think Micheál Martin will probably resign after the next general election. So that's 2029. But whatever the case, I think the future for Fianna Fáil is very rocky. They don't really have a place in the changing arena, I suppose, of Irish politics. And I think they're going to continue struggling. And it's crazy to see.